Blessings. Today we bring you 15 challenging questions to test your knowledge of God's Word. Before we begin, subscribe and share to spread the wisdom of the Scriptures. Are you ready? Let's begin. Question 1. Which prophet had a vision of a valley of dry bones? A. Isaiah. B. Jonah. C. Elijah. D. Ezekiel. Time to think. And the correct answer is Ezekiel. Ezekiel, chapter 37, verses 1 to 2 say, "The hand of the Lord was upon me, and he brought me out by the Spirit of the Lord and set me in the middle of a valley. It was full of bones." Question 2. Which prophet had a vision of a wheel within a wheel? A. Ezekiel. B. Isaiah. C. Hosea. D. Elijah. Time to think. And the correct answer is Ezekiel. Ezekiel, chapter 1, verse 16 says, "The appearance of the wheels and their workmanship was like the color of beryl, and the four had the same likeness, and their appearance and work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel." Question 3. Which prophet had a vision of a tree that reached to the sky? A. Isaiah. B. Jonah. C. Daniel. D. Elijah. Time to think. And the correct answer is Daniel. Daniel, chapter 4, verses 10 to 12 say, "These are the visions I saw while lying in bed. I looked, and there before me stood a tree in the middle of the land. Its height was enormous. The tree grew large and strong, and its top touched the sky." Question 4. Which prophet had a vision of a statue with a head of gold? A. Daniel. B. Isaiah. C. Jonah. D. Ezekiel. Time to think. And the correct answer is Daniel. Daniel, chapter 2, verses 31 to 32 say, "The head of the statue was made of pure gold, its chest and arms of silver, its belly and thighs of bronze." Question 5. What was Jeremiah's profession? A. Tax collector. B. Merchant. C. Priest. D. Farmer. Time to think. And the correct answer is priest. Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 1 says, "The words of Jeremiah son of Hilkiah, one of the priests at Anathoth in the territory of Benjamin." Question 6. Which prophet had a vision of a river flowing from the temple? A. Isaiah. B. Jonah. C. Ezekiel. D. Daniel. Time to think. And the correct answer is Ezekiel. Ezekiel, chapter 47, verse 1 says, "Then he brought me back to the entrance of the temple, and I saw water coming out from under the threshold of the temple toward the east." Question 7. What animals was Daniel thrown in with? A. Panthers. B. Lions. C. Tigers. D. Leopards. Time to think. And the correct answer is lions. Daniel, chapter 6, verses 16 to 17 say, "So the king gave the order, and they brought Daniel and threw him into the lion's den. Question 8. Which king died the year Isaiah was called as a prophet? A. David. B. Ishmael. C. Uzziah. D. Arthur. Time to think. And the correct answer is Uzziah. Isaiah chapter 6, verse 1 says, In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord, high and exalted, seated on a throne, and the train of his robe filled the temple. Question 9. What did the seraphim flying above the Lord cry out? A. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord. The whole earth is full of his glory. B. Save us, Lord. C. Praise be to God. Fill the world with peace and love. D. Praise be you. Time to think. And the correct answer is Holy, holy, holy is the Lord. The whole earth is full of his glory. Isaiah chapter 6, verse 3 says, And they were calling to one another, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord Almighty. The whole earth is full of his glory. Question 10. Because of exile, some prophets had to leave Jerusalem. Where did they go? A. Jerusalem. B. Israel. C. Gaza. D. Babylon. Time to think. And the correct answer is Babylon. 2 Kings, chapter 24, verses 14 to 15 say, He carried all Jerusalem into exile, all the officers and fighting men, and all the skilled workers and artisans, a total of 10,000. Only the poorest people of the land were left. He took Jehoiakim captive to Babylon. Question 11. What did Jeremiah say when God called him to be a prophet? A. My God, I'm too young. B. I don't know how to speak. C. My God, let your will be done. D. As you wish, Lord. Time to think. And the correct answer is, My God, I'm too young. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 6 says, Alas, sovereign Lord, I said, I do not know how to speak. I am too young. Question 12. Who are considered the major prophets? A. Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and Daniel. B. Abraham, Solomon, David, and the angel Gabriel. C. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. D. Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and Daniel. Time to think. And the correct answer is Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and Daniel. There is no single verse that lists them directly, but they are recognized as the authors of the longest prophetic books in the Old Testament. Question 13. Which prophet had a vision of a flying scroll? A. Isaiah. B. Zechariah. C. Daniel. D. Jeremiah. Time to think. And the correct answer is Zechariah. Zechariah, chapter 5, verses 1 to 2 say, I looked again, and there before me was a flying scroll. He asked me, What do you see? I answered, I see a flying scroll, 20 cubits long and 10 cubits wide. Question 14. Which king repented after hearing the prophet Nathan's rebuke? A. David. B. Solomon. C. Saul. D. Joshua. Time to think. And the correct answer is David. 2 Samuel, chapter 12, verse 13 says, Then David said to Nathan, I have sinned against the Lord. Nathan replied, The Lord has taken away your sin. You are not going to die. Question 15. Which prophet was commanded by God to marry a prostitute? A. Isaiah. B. Hosea. C. Jeremiah. D. Ezekiel. Time to think. And the correct answer is Hosea. Hosea, chapter 1, verse 2 says, When the Lord began to speak through Hosea, the Lord said to him, Go, marry a promiscuous woman and have children with her, for like an adulterous wife this land is guilty of unfaithfulness to the Lord. Blessings. Today you will hear 14 Bible characters speaking in the first person, and your mission is to discover who they are. Before we begin, subscribe and share to help us spread the wisdom of the Scriptures. Are you ready? Let's begin.